Ja, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe vom SE Talk. Ich bin in Vancouver auf der Vancouver Resource Investment Konferenz. Die ist die zweitgrößte Messe nach der PDAC, findet immer im Jänner statt und ist sozusagen ein Indikator für die Messe oder für die Rohstoffbranche. Und für mich ist es immer spannend, natürlich auch andere Meinungen zu finden. Neben mir ist Micky Fulp, er ist Autor von einem Börsenbrief. Ich habe schon mehrere Interviews mit ihm gemacht und deswegen kann er uns natürlich am besten auch sagen, wie der Markt momentan tickt. Micky, thank you to have time for me.
Well, thank you, Joe. I always have time for IR World.
Perfect. Micky, the last year was not really a good one. Do you think 2015 can go better?
Well, I hope so. You know, at the end of 2013, I said, I don't think it could get any worse. Well, it did get worse, so I'm cautiously optimistic. One thing that we do have right now is a rising gold price and a rising dollar, too, which doesn't happen very often. Last time I actually remember that happening was in January of 2009, which kicked off the biggest bull market we've seen in quite some time. So cautiously optimistic, Joe.
Okay, I'm optimistic too, and I believe that we saw maybe the bottom in the gold market 2012, but it's for sure it will not go in one direction. Do you see beside the gold market also some market there you think the investor should look?
Well, I would be looking at copper right now. Copper is beaten down very badly. And a lot of what happened with that downtick that happened a week or so ago was Chinese short selling, and they artificially moved the market down during the middle of the night when only the Asian markets were open. It's bounced back up since then. But, you know, I'm a contrarian. I like to buy things when they're out of favor. The supply-demand fundamentals of copper look very bullish for this year. There was a deficit projected. Now it looks like we're going to have a surplus. So I'd be looking at copper stocks myself.
Okay, and you think that downtrend from the copper is what you say coming from the Chinese side, or you think it's coming from the Chinese side, and the reason for them is only that maybe they can buy cheaper?
Well, I think so, and they manipulated the market here. I think it was about a week or so ago. They dropped it from a 290 to 260, and it started about back, but that was a manipulation. Some analysts have been blaming that on the Chinese. There's certainly China is slowing down, but the fact remains we use 3 to 4% more copper every year, and we're just not finding enough good copper deposits.
Okay, other market, what you're looking, what is with the uranium?
Well, I always like uranium. We saw some movement in the sector where energy fuels is taking over uraners. I own both of those stocks. I'm very happy about that because now I'm going to own more energy fuels. But the point would be that uranium has had a big bounce over the last few months. It's about $37 on the spot price right now, kind of waiting for some Japanese restarts. And I think we're going to see a much better uranium market this year. The stocks have been beaten down over the last couple of weeks, so being a contrarian, I think that might be a buying opportunity too.
Do you look also oil? And if not, you're looking oil. What is with oil has also some impact on gold and silver stock or on the resource stock itself. So
well, that point is well taken. With low oil prices, the cost of production on all mines is going to go down because energy, i.e. fuel, is the biggest input to mining costs. So that's positive. On the other side, with oil below $50 a barrel, I am buying select mid-tier independent oil companies right now. Some very good opportunities. You need to be careful about who you buy because the Achilles heel of oil companies, because CapEx is so high to drill a well, they can become debt-ridden. So you want to buy companies that aren't going to default on their debt. I don't think this oil price will stay at $50 for especially a long time. I would look for it to rebound in the $70 to $75 range, and certainly American and Canadian shale oil producers can make money at $75 oil. If they can't, they better get out of the business.
Okay, I like this protection. So what is your, coming to numbers, what is your year-end forecast for the different metals? What do you think gold should stay, silver should stay, copper should stay, and oil should stay in the year-end?
Well, I will say that I think that gold, copper, and silver will end the year higher than they started. And I've got to throw oil into that category too. I just don't think it's going to stay at $50 a barrel or what hit 46 within the last week. It could go to 30. I think we'll see if it does. You know what happens is when these metals prices and energy prices go low, then production starts coming off and demand exceeds supply, and the prices, cure for low prices is low prices.
Last question to the fundamentals. Is it possible that when you look at really outside and you look on the market and see copper coming down, oil coming down, it looks like that we have a big problem on the economic side? Is it also possible that maybe we are running in a economic downtrend, or is this more really manipulating from the markets?
Well, certainly the demand for commodities all in all is down. I would say that's the reason the prices have gone down for most commodities. But by the same token, demand is still strong. You know, we're adding people to the planet every year. More and more people, especially in Asia, are demanding the things that we consider necessities. In Europe and North America, they consider them now as essentials too. So demand is for metals and energy. It will continue to go up as more and more people populate the planet.
Micky, coming to investment ideas, what is your what are the favorite stocks in these different sectors?
Well, I'll talk about three right now. I like Fulp Minerals, which has a new discovery in Kosovo. I think they'll have assays coming out on that discovery. So they had two discoveries last year, one in Portugal, one in Kosovo. I think the stock's trading in the low 30s right now. I'm hopeful the new assays coming out on Kosovo, they got a couple other drill holes pending, will be positive. In gold space, I like Brazil Resources, Brazilian gold explorer and developer. I especially like that company for its uranium play in the Athabasca Basin, a JV with Areva. I think that will get spun out, which will give you not exactly a 2-for-1, but you'll get two companies for the price of one. I like that company so much that I went into the 55-cent private placement in December, which is above market. I averaged up in that stock. And a sister company I like in uranium space would be Uranium Energy Corp. We need higher uranium prices, but when that happens, they have been very active. They're all set to ramp up production when we get probably a $45 price for spot uranium.
Micky, thank you for your update, and hopefully you're right. And yeah, see us next shows, and then we see and can go further and make a new interview.
Okay, and I must say that I own the three stocks mentioned, and they're sponsors of my website. So I'm very biased in my opinions on those stocks.
Okay. Ja, das war ein Update von Micky Fulp. Was er schon sagt, er erwartet auch, dass die Preise eigentlich steigen, also dass die höher sind, als sie ins Jahr gestartet haben. Er hat auch seine 3 Favoriten gesagt. Er hat ja auch gesagt, er hat diese 3 Stocks. Die Stocks werden auch gesponsert von ihm. Und ja, interessantes Update. Das Einzige, was mir ein bisschen negativ stimmt, ist, dass alle relativ positiv sind, und das ist natürlich dann immer eher so ein Kontraindikator, aber prinzipiell bin ich genau derselben Meinung. Danke und tschüss.